Alright, testing 1, 2. I'm talking about this movie Lucy. That what I seen was all these metaphysical guys online giving praise to this movie. Giving this movie all of these prizes, the most mind-blowing movie of the decade. And this is conscious folks. And I can see that because they put the in-your-face metaphysics and drop a lot of metaphysical concepts on the first layer. But y'all need to be wary of the mind control that goes down. And some of you, I'm sure you caught it. Now, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you because I've seen some dear and personal friends talking about how great this movie is. Otherwise, I wouldn't care less to talk about it. I could tell you about a few things in this movie without even studying it, almost watching it once, because every movie, and you'll see this in my book, has two motives. Most movies, except for that Tyler Perry bullshit, has two motives, and those motives are the outward story versus the subliminal messaging inside each of these movies. A perfect example of this was Avatar. The overt message was the white man comes and saves these obvious black people who are painted blue, and of course all black metaphysical people got all upset. Their panties got bunched up, titties got twisted because of the white man Jake Scully coming to save these black people. But I actually did the lecture, which I'm sure you'll find online, about this, the subliminal message, which is the more important message, because this is, you get into the realm of magic, the hidden or the shadow, and to manipulate and communicate on that level is actually anybody who seeks to program you is how they operate in this stealth mode. So knowing this, and if you take my class, you should be one step closer to knowing this, is what you're looking for when you're decoding the movie. Get past the emotional part. So people are loving Lucy because of the overt metaphysics that's in it, and because you guys are either seeking or dealing with, or in some level has a metaphysical thought pattern that when you see this movie you think it's owed to you. But there was a lot of mind control in this movie. Now let me be absolutely clear for everything that I missed. I fell asleep when the bitch got at 20%. That's how bad this fucking movie was to me. I woke up in the end. But here's the little thing I caught, and this is where you need to start. The name Lucy. Lucy is the name they called the oldest black woman that they found on planet Earth. So in this movie, what they did was make this concept of this old black woman Lucy, and they even named the movie Lucy based upon this, and they made this Lucy a fucking monkey. That alone should have you offended. Soon as we seen that shit, me and Khadijah looked at each other, and I just turned over to go to sleep because I knew it was going to be some bullshit. I had no idea they were referring to Lucy as the original black woman. So that being an offense, the next thing I seen, which was the subliminal message in the movie, when she took this blue powder, first thing they showed the next level was her eyes turned blue. But what was more interesting, they planted this drug in her womb, and they showed scenes of the universe in this white woman's womb. Y'all should have been offended at that. You got to understand, whenever you see white people as, you can't call them metaphysicians, but the ones who want to know the meaning of life, I guess, why are we here? They soon find out, if they're a realist, that they have no cosmic origin. Black people have a cosmic origin. Melanated people have what they call this divine spark, or what you've been calling a soul. Most white people, I'm saying most because it's no longer cut and dry. The genetics are so mixed that someone who looks white may have a little bit more melanin in them, and therefore a little bit more of that source or that divine light. But then I'm sure you've seen them white people, them fucking Quakers and them weird ass Mormon motherfuckers that just look extremely degraded and dilapidated. Those are the original cave people, and those people, there's no hope. So they're usually split on their origin of life. There's one hand the creationist, and the other hand the evolutionist. So the so-called smarter white people say, well, evolution. And since they have no cosmic origin and they can't explain anything else, we come from monkeys. That's their greatest thing. This is not the black man's story, not in the least bit. We have a cosmic origin. We did not evolve from monkeys. They absolutely evolved from monkeys. This is not just because I'm saying it based upon some emotional shit. Bobby Hemmitt's tape, Human Artificial, he goes through the whole entire scholarship of their creation. And this is Human Artificial, if you still get it online. And not even that, Elijah Muhammad dropped their origins. And there was a book called The Making of the White Man. And they dropped their origins. And it comes down to this same creation story. And they know their story. Some of them know their story. It's encoded in the movie Frankenstein, encoded in the movie Dr. Moreau's movie, in the island of Dr. Moreau. It's encoded on their genetic test tube baby creation. Now, Elijah Muhammad said they were made from monkey, pig, rat, cat, and dog, and all this. And what he's really describing is what they present to you as something new, which is cloning. You think that cloning is something new, and they're tapping in and they tell you, we could make an organ soon, so you fight for this cloning thing. But ultimately, this cloning process is old hat. This is how we made them. And that's what Elijah Muhammad is describing, the process of cloning them through animal DNA. That's why they have such a built beastly nature in every context. What cultivates you is melanin. And with everything has melanin here. But with their access to such a small amount of melanin is the only thing that can make them actually sit upright and chew their food almost. But advanced things in forms of creation that, such as black folks have created, jazz, pyramids, architecture, the goddamn stop sign, and all the rest of that shit, is based upon our ability to access the creative life force, which is melanin. And I'm just keeping it simple to keep it in the context. So for them, because they have no cosmic origin, any magician or someone into occult science that's worth its spit, and y'all need to hear this, if they know they don't have access to it, they have to convince the people who do have access to it. Because if they convince us as black people that they have a cosmic origin or even a place at the table, then that's their best path for getting there. So they have to keep reinforcing a cosmic origin to us. Like Greek mythology, they still pretend that it's history when these are mythological stories. For instance, they still present that story of Troy and the Trojan War and Achilles as real history. That one with Brad Pitt was in, they presented it like it was a historical story. But if you read mythology, there's an older story called the Ramayana, which is the same story. There's this beauty, she gets stolen, the whole fleet comes to rescue her. There's even an older story than that, with the god Soma captures Tara, and then there's this cosmic war to rescue this particular beauty, and the beauty represents the soul. But they're presenting it as history because they do not have a history. When you look at Jordan Maxwell and these guys in those Zeitgeist movies, you hear eloquent, most conscious as they can get story of them destroying all forms of religion. But what's missing is the build part. Because it's build and destroy. You must destroy to build, but they have nothing to build. They'll tell you, well, that comes from Horus, that means the sun. Isis really means that really meant crops, that really meant that. And yeah, they're destroying the status quo of religious ignorance, but they can't say, but here's our origin. all they could say is, well, I guess we come from monkeys because we act the closest as monkeys. Or they'll say these things are random. So you have creationists versus, and creationists is the people say creation is from God, and we don't need to know anything else, that we're here in His children. So, and then you have evolutionists say they come from monkeys, this shit is random, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even explain us. So they're constantly, now I said all of that to say they constantly have to reinforce a message of them having a place at the table in forms of everlasting life. So the most important being on planet Earth, or in any existence I should say, is the black woman as the ultimate identity for all things in creation. This is not to take any away from the black man, because we are both coexist in this same consciousness, but understand, you're not talking about humanity, because you could die in your next life, come back as a man or a woman, so that doesn't mean nothing. You are in polarity, so you have to be identified as a man or woman on earth. When you go beyond the realms of third dimension, you are an androgynous being. The aspect of you that we on earth call feminine is actually the key. And it's just that feminine, everyone has a masculine and a feminine side. The woman down here is is the representation of something greater than you. So they have to symbolically get at this image, which is the black woman, or this being, which is the black woman. So for what they need to do is put their white woman in the place of the black woman. Basically take her legacy. So when y'all sitting around saying this Lucy, and we're going to get to it, it's the greatest shit you've ever seen. You just sat there and co-signed, with especially any black woman, with this fucking nobody taking your legacy with her mind. Because that's the only thing that matters. The mind is all. We're not talking about the outwardly shit in the movies. I'm over that. I'm past that. It's their movies. What else would you expect them to do? But if they're a little bit slicker, they're going to give you the mind control. So they first show you the blue eyes, and they show you this cosmos in her womb. So if that's automatically see the womb or the universe is the womb of the black woman. They just showed you a white woman having the universe in her womb. You should be highly offended. You should be highly offended. Now, like I said, I went to sleep. If I'd have stayed up and studied this movie, we'd be here for fucking hours. But then again, I don't want to be here for hours talking about some ignorant attempt that we're holding up as something that is much to be desired. Everyone must see this. Everyone must study this. Fuck going to see that. Study this and understand what they're doing. So, and I'll skip around when I kept waking up. The fact that when she started coming into her power, this was a very subliminal message. When she went all the way to the past and she sees Lucy getting her sip on at this stream, when she touches Lucy's finger, what they were mimicking, what's that chapel, St. Anthony's Chapel, whatever, famous chapel you see in every movie, I think it's in Rome or Italy or Rome or one of them, where they painted on the roof God touching man or Adam, and you see it's this famous God finger touching Adam, giving him God consciousness. That's what that means. So Lucy, the white Lucy touching the monkey, they were symbolically saying, because they told you that this monkey was the beginning of all mankind. So it says this white woman went back to the past as God and started humanity by giving Lucy the fucking touch. Did y'all not see that? So by giving her this God touch, Lucy, she open now. You know what I'm saying? Because she got touched by this white woman, and all creation as we know it on planet Earth has began. Oh yeah. Y'all need to see that. Y'all need to see what they fucking doing. Cut that shit out. This is a great metaphysical movie. Get the fuck out. This is mind control 101. I can see why you would say it's great, because, you know, the concepts he brought back, he said basically we're using this, dolphins do 20%, that's all real. You could find some of the worship of the dolphins in Dogon. They said some of the Dogon said that they split and became, some of them went to the sea as dolphins and some of them stayed on Earth. So they say the dolphins were black people, and of course they retained still 20%. Now, and you know, that's a big running joke too. If dolphins use 20% of their brain, how come they still getting caught in fishing nets? That's like an old joke. Now, also what I noticed because like I said, I fell asleep through all that fighting. I don't know what she did. I know the Chinese dude was doing it, and I'm sure in the Chinese also lead, or the Japanese, one of them. But in that Asian world, either the Chinese or the Japanese, whoever that dude was representing, they also are heavy in DNA research. So him trying to obtain it and get it could have been. I gotta watch it again if I'm going to watch it again. Symbolic of because she stabbed him in the hands. Symbolic of them saying we're stopping you and we're moving forward with this. And let me see, what else did I remember? CPR4, whatever they were calling the drug. The surgeon said it. He said this is actually a drug that that the woman excretes. It's like an atomic bomb to a baby. So that's where they connected it to the womb, birth, and pregnancy. So what they were saying is this is something that gives the baby its bone structure, its structure. They were symbolically saying what she had in her now structured, or is the structure, and eventually they go on to mean humanity. They're trying to put this white woman in the black woman's legacy, and you niggas are sitting there praising that shit. Y'all better get your shit together. Learn this motherfucking metaphysics. You really need to. Y'all need to see the mind control, because once you see the mind control, it doesn't work on you. If I know the concepts, this is what I teach in class, mind control 101. They can't get over on you. And I know it's working. That's why I know my class is relevant, because I can see by just watching Facebook how stuck a lot of y'all are. Y'all don't even see the game. Just because somebody says some goddamn shit about fucking polarity, all of a sudden they down. You know what I'm saying? No, they just mind control and put that white woman in a black woman's shoes constantly. And while you say, well, that don't work on me, it don't work on you overtly. That's why I brought up the avatar. It don't work on you overtly, but if it's speaking to a part of you that's just not aware of, you are sleeping while it programs you. There's a book called Hidden Power by James Van Fleet. He said one of the most powerful things you can do, in all the things he was talking about programming the subconscious mind, he said when your significant other goes to sleep, if you just sit there and whisper in their ear while they sleep, they hear you and it programs their mind. Your awareness of it is what is how you block it. Your conscious mind blocks the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is willing to absorb everything, but your conscious mind is stopping everything, saying, no, 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 no. Pigs don't fly. You can see 10 pigs and you'll try to explain it's CGI, it's a trick, before you can accept it. And that's how it's supposed to be, because if you see everything and accept everything, you go mad. So you have to be able to block it out. So what any good occultist knows, or even a person who is trying to reprogram themselves through forms of ritual and magic, they're trying to penetrate to the second layer. And that second layer is the most loudest when you are in a meditative state, a sleeping state, a state of deep focus, daydreaming, driving on the highway. What happens is your conscious mind relaxes. That's why you're on the highway until you wake up and say, oh shit, I don't even remember driving on it, because your subconscious mind reigns supreme. And let me inform you, your subconscious mind also reigns supreme when you're in a movie theater. You're in darkness with sound all around you and lights flashing at you, which are nothing more than symbols being flashed constantly, and your mind learns through symbols. So when you're in this hypnotic state, this alpha state, this state of the subconscious mind, that's the conversation they having. Fuck all that shit you think you decoding with Morgan Freeman and the shit he said about fucking mononucleosis. That's some bullshit from your book learnings that's not going to serve you. It's the subtle imagery that they're setting up for the real kill. And y'all missed the real motherfucking kill. He talked about Akashic Records. He talked about there's this pool of information, and humanity is only accessing 15% of this such and such billions information. What was he talking about? He was talking about the Akashic Records and Akasha. White people, if they're even contacting 50, because they everything they have is a cheap rendition of black people. So they can do things like Sylvia Brown and the rest of them that mimic what black people can do. You know what I'm saying? We do the electric slide, they do the achy breaky. You know what I'm saying? It don't look as funky, but you can technically call it dancing. You get what I'm saying? Now, they could mimic what we do, so it looks like they're in it with us. And again, some of them have a little bit more melanin, so some of them make a little bit more progress, but their mentality is so little. Sylvia Brown is still talking about your uncle left a wallet under the sink, your grandfather's gray hat, you wear his hat and you'll have a job. It's what we call mundane psychic work. Advanced psychic work, you're dealing on the level of you're finding meaning of life things, to make it simple, or life revelations. They call it EFI readings and EFI versus a just general reading. General reading is don't eat that. General reading is go to school, don't clean your house, wear the color red, don't wear the color red. EFI reading is why you came to Earth, what your purpose is, your destiny, your goal, and these type of things. So you don't see that on Montel Williams. You see a little bullshit. Yeah, you can stop crying. Billy's safe now. He's on the other side. That's all mundane shit compared to what you're going for in this parlor tricks. Now, so they can tap into that because they have what Brother Phil Valentine used to say. They're copies of, how did he used to put this? And I'm paraphrasing, but he used to put it in a way where he used to say that they can deal with surface level. They cannot penetrate into anything like you can penetrate. So when they're telling this story about we only accessing this amount and this amount, is because they're telling their story, because they don't give a fuck about your story. You already made it. The stuff that's in you is from the source. Therefore, your natural birthright is everlasting life. Because you got to understand, the whole, if you want to wipe away all why, at the end of the result is everlasting life, getting out the circles of time. And you can only get out the circles of time if you can merge with the original divine light. And you've been calling that your soul. So we have a soul. If we're too ignorant to realize consciousness, we get trapped in these circles of time. We're Christians, we're Puff Daddy, we're music moguls, we're billionaires, and then we come back and the next nigga sucking dick at a truck stop because you don't know who you are. The most powerful can retain their consciousness through what they call the brain. The brain is the motherfucking matrix, that gray matter, the tunnels of Set. That's the matrix. So our origin is divine, therefore we have the divine birthright, so we go through these lifetimes of initiation to only return to that birthright greater. I always give the example that never gets old, the movie Coming to America. Already the prince, destined to be the king, but you still got something missing in that perfection. Phil Valentine, Brother Phil, used to say perfection means death. Yeah, because you could tell Eddie Murphy was dying in that movie as Prince Akeem, but he had to go on an adventure. And they were symbolically saying, John Landis did that movie, who is an occultist, who did Thriller and a couple of other occult movies. So he is an occultist, and it had occult principles or scientific principles for the black man. So when when he came to Queens to find his bride, he did what niggas did. He went to a barbershop, worked in McDonald's, let them have our princely robes. We don't need them here. There's a big rat in my house. So he just was basically saying, he cut off his princely lock. He basically was saying, I'm going to be a regular dude. And the ultimate key down here is to find love. And what you're really talking about is self-love, not love for your humanity. See, love for humanity, love for the kids, love for your grandmother, love for other people's plights can be a side effect of finding the true love, which is love in yourself. And then once you find that love for yourself, you realize the grandmothers, the babies, the kids, Your children and everybody else's children, your mama, your girl, are extensions of you. You are no greater or less than what they are. Therefore, this moral love that you're fighting for, you truly have to love yourself to even start communicating with moral love, of love for others, because it becomes a genuine love, not this fake love. Oh, he hurt his finger. What the fuck? You don't give a fuck. As long as it ain't your finger, you know it's true. Oh, you stubbed your toe. You don't give a fuck as long as it ain't your toe. But you'll feel it in a different way, not as a form of pity, but as a form of understanding because of your connection. And I'm skipping forward when she said, "I am everywhere" in that movie, and we're going to go back into what that means. So Khadijah told me throughout the movie, because I was asleep, like I said, they kept pointing out her eyes are blue, and this blue was a form of being advanced. It's nothing but the blue-eyed devil that Elijah Muhammad was talking about. And on another level, if you want to make it deeper, and like I said, I didn't see this movie enough to say they went there, but blue is the throat chakra, which is connected to all creativity. And even though the sacral chakra is related to creativity, it's related to a more selfish creativity. So if you're creating from the sacral chakra, you're usually creating things for selfish purposes. So here's an example. If I was creating from the sacral chakra, I'll be telling my woman, get lingerie. And I'll be telling her all the special lingerie with the net and the pump, and it sounds real creative, but ultimately I'm having her dress up like that for me because it gets me off. So it seems creative because I'm saying, oh, wear that, turn your hat to the side, put a feather up your butt, and I'm doing all this creative stuff, and ultimately, but it's for me to get off. So it's a selfish form of creation. When you get to the throat chakra, and that's why it's connected to your shoulders, in your mouth, and your hands, as forms of giving to the world. So the artist or the speaker or the lecturer is up in this level of creation. And to give you a better example, music, why it lasted for us, because it was resonating from the heart chakra. I love you, you my baby, the thrill is gone, and all of that. But then rap was the next level for this reason, because it went to the throat chakra, because it became a form of, you can talk about many more subjects than just love, which was from the heart chakra. This is the gateway now. We're not going to say this is better, but it's coming from a different frequency. That you should be encouraged, because why the R&B had to slow down and go to the R. Kelly 12-inch, I got a 12-inch and all that kind of shit, and pass, I love you, baby, and baby, I love you. It went past that because we graduated, not because it died, because we have accomplished this. You need to understand that's a badge. We doing something subliminally, subconsciously, that ain't even go, and that's what they're trying to fight with movies like this, the unconscious collective progress that we're truly making. So while you're worrying about, niggas ain't doing this and niggas ain't doing that, and Kanye West said this shit, that's all surface shit, and you cannot count or add that into our true plight. If you don't know it, they know it. That's why they're not fighting you on that level. They're distracting you on hit you in the head with a rock, cut off your gas, your electric bill. That's the distracting part. The subliminal message they understand is what shapes your reality. Let me say it again, and I'm really disappointed because some people who took my class is praising this movie, and I told you about subliminal programming, and that your subconscious mind is your reality, and it creates your reality. For instance, you go to a psychiatrist's office, and you may say, and this is the example I give in class, doctor, I wear diapers, and I love to rub the shit on the wall. Why? So the doctor is not asking the surface question. He's trying to get to the subliminal programming or trauma or the subconscious connection that makes this such a joy for you to wear diapers. You're talking, they're leading you places. Then you say, I had a babysitter that used to change my diapers, and she was the hottest thing going. And then you realize that was your first, I don't say set or turn on. And somewhere in your subconscious mind, it impacted you so much that you like to wear diapers as a grown up. And now you can't figure out what's the connection. And if you want something a little bit less dramatic, you may get attacked by a dog when you're 5, don't even remember. But that as you're grown, you have this insane fear of dogs. But because the trauma was so, how could you say, severe, to protect yourself, you block out the thought. And you don't remember why. So that science or that process or that concept is why when they present overtly metaphysical or overtly offensive movie, that's just to keep you distracted while they tell you the real message in the subconscious imaging and in well-placed words and phrases. That's exactly what happened in this fucking movie that we as I'm gonna shut this metaphysical I love Lucy shit down. This I love Lucy shit. We're gonna shut this shit down before it gets started. I usually would have watched it again and did a breakdown, but fuck that shit. I watched it last night, and I'm gonna shut this down before because I'm gonna be looking at you motherfuckers get praised, and every time be going, ugh. So why do it? I said we talked about a womb, her blue eyes, and things Morgan Freeman was saying were important. He said things like, the cosmic is all within you. This is another metaphysical concept that we as black people can't get along. I've talked about it before. Bobby Hemmings has definitely talked about it before, and there's books on it, that black people will travel around the entire world to find themselves, but refuse to travel within. This whole metaphysical journey is actually a journey within. Everything, as Morgan Freeman pointed out, you got that. He got that. I don't know why they like his old ass so much. He's got that same dumb, trying to find it out face in every movie. Oh, cause the mind is. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fucking flunky. You still driving Miss Daisy. And now he's driving Miss Lucy. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't watch enough of it but I asked Khadijah what was his character. She said he was basically a slave. He was the foremost researcher on it, and this white bitch comes along. What do you need me to do now, player? What? I got you, Miss Daisy. Oh, I want to go to. I got to make water, Miss Lucy. You get what I'm saying? It was just the same thing, just a subliminal way. In fact, after driving Miss Daisy, that's when his career blown up for that. And it's not even just the movie. It's the shit he said to defend that shit, which was scary. You know what I'm saying? When motherfuckers, you shouldn't be doing that, man, in this day and age. The shit that nigga said to do that was fucking scary to defend himself was even worse. Now you got James Earl Jones doing a Broadway version of Driving Miss Daisy. Nigga, for what? He's bad too. You know what I'm saying? You hear his little statements. He's a coon. James Earl Jones, that is. So when these dudes do these type of movies, they're basically saying, I'm a vessel for your agenda. So that's why you see so much of them. Or they'll give you the other side, which is Denzel. So when we say these words, just for no other reason, but when we say these words, ain't no leading men or black people never do that. Y'all got Denzel. Y'all got Wesley. Shut up. So we shut up on that, but then they hit you with Cuba Gooding Jr.'s coon ass. Morgan Freeman's coon ass, guys who do anything. When Cuba Gooding Jr. with all that show me the money and doing all that goofy shit, those are initiations. Driving Miss Daisy is an initiation. You get what I'm saying? And that's why you'll see them in all these movies as tools. You understand this about movies, and this is my book. Consciously will say that Wesley Snipes wore the dress, or this one was cooning, or this one was driving Miss Daisy. But as you know, in the movies, when they represent a person, that person represents the entire mentality. So if we're in the movie and he's the rap dude, he represents rap as a whole, whether we consciously think about it or not. If he's the black dude, he represents the all black men or all black women. You see a black maid, that represents all black women. You know that. That's what they're symbolically putting up. That's the perspective that they're trying to portray in the movie. So whatever's the happening in the movie, this is what the black rap dude would do. They get a nigga like Ice Cube, who's got one fucking acting way. You know what I'm saying? Always fucking mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, know what I'm saying? Because we need to get in there and kick their ass. That's what the rap dude would say. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the black nerd or white nerd. No, we need to get in there and figure out the hypotenuse of this. That's the black nerd. So he represents that whole thing. So once now they teach you in acting school to don't act to react. If I said, you would be offended if I said, this nigga never thinks, he just reacts. So they teach you in acting school, don't react to whatever material it is, which is another subliminal way of programming the actor to say they have to react to whatever's on the table. That makes them a good actor. Not to think about, hey, maybe I'm dressing up as Mr. Brown and saying Cora and all that shit and dressing up as Medea is actually offensive or actually degrading or actually portraying images around the world that are damaging to us. They don't think about that because their job is to become a vessel. There was an exercise, because my sister was trying to act, and when she dragged me to her classes, there was an exercise where they become a machine, where some person starts off with a machine move, the next person gets up and makes up whatever, becomes another part of the machine, until the whole class is up there doing machine moves. What that teaches you subliminally, and it's an acting thing, it subliminally teaches you to become a part in a bigger picture, a part of the machine, a part of the machine. So you got Morgan Freeman, who thinks he's this prestigious actor that every black person will cry as he walks in the room, but he's a part of the machine. They teach you that in acting school as a basic, to react and become a part of this big machine. So you don't even know what it is you're doing. You're just playing your part. Morgan Freeman says it all the time. He said in the movie he did with Chris Rock, Nurse Betty, it was like, well, this is the first time he's doing comedy. He was like, comedy ain't nothing. You just react to the shit. And it'll turn out funny if you react like you're supposed to react, or like the character's supposed to react in the movie. So he's just saying, I don't even look at this like I need to go in there and be funny. All I need to go in there is do the standard shit that I was taught in acting school. Just react. And it's going to be funny. Because it will be funny. Because every person, you know, whether I'm funny or not, if some funny shit happens, if I fall, niggas is going to laugh. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how much brother panicking you do. If I bust my ass in Walmart, niggas going to be like, you alright? And then the jokes come in. So it's like, no matter how serious people take me, funny is going to be funny if some funny shit happens. So if you're acting, you're setting up for some funny shit to happen. So he understands this concept, and he's saying, look, I'm going to be whatever it is they tell me to be, basically. That's why you see him in a lot of movies. Not because of his talent. He's not that fucking talented to me. He makes the same fucking reactionary faces. You know what I'm saying? The same fucking reactionary faces. And he's not that fucking special. Like Jack Nicholson makes the same reactionary faces, but he's motherfucking Jack Nicholson. It works. Sam Jackson is the same motherfucker, but he's motherfucking Sam Jackson, and it works. Alright, so what else did they talk about? That's all I really want to talk about that I can remember. And like I said, I'll let y'all, now that we done discussed it, I'll let y'all do the rest. Oh, no, one other thing. So as she's becoming 90 and whatever percent, she starts turning into this black mass. Now they just showed you to your face that the highest form of thinking is melanin. Melanin. Y'all niggas need to understand that shit, because y'all sitting around, oh, my melanin is so cute. Look at my fucking dreads. My melanin is so cute. The black man and the king. You know, they telling you, see, and we spend a lot of time trying to convince them of who we are, and with all of these status messages and these fucking pictures. Did you know the black man and the black woman is this? We're spending all this time, because you ever just think for a second that they know who the fuck you are? But it doesn't matter. They're trying to keep you ignorant while they figure out your mysteries. And the only way they can do it is keep portraying themselves in that spot in hopes that it would convince you that they're there, and you being convinced that they are a part of it actually is what would make them a part of it. When you forget the fuck about them, that's when they got a problem. The last thing they need, you need to understand this, and we just need to put it in this way. They have no more life on this planet no more than plastic does. So when you look at a tree, you kind of know once this planet is gone, or once that tree is gone, that tree still exists somewhere else. I can't say the same for all of them. Let's say that. I can't say the same for all of them. Because there's some whites who are conscious. Some of them will email me and be like, well, I'm basically fucked. No, if you're conscious and you in it and you're righteous, and you could do some rhythmic things, let's just say, perhaps you got some melanin and you need to work with your talents and do whatever you need to do to try to enhance that. If you're that white person with an all-white mentality, you're fucked. And really not because I'm mad at that mentality, because that mentality is so destructive and unrighteous, you just can't win with it. It has nothing to do with my judgment of it, like, oh, white people, they think so fucked up, which is true. But that's neither here nor there. Beyond my emotion. Emotionally, you know, I think some white people are I can't even fathom some of the savagery just watching cop videos. But that's neither here nor there. What I do know metaphysically, that form of thinking, there's nothing in this universe. Universe means uni, verse means song, one song. You're not in synchronicity with the rhythm of this light or this everlasting life or this worlds to come or something greater. Your thinking is not in synchronicity, and that's the death of you. Has nothing to do with, well, you did that to me and my people, so we're going to get you back. Well, perhaps, and each time, you know, someone spits in your hair, I enjoy it. But that's neither here nor there. What I do know is your thinking is inferior. And until you change your thinking, nothing's going to happen for you besides the same routine of you trying to oppress something that you cannot oppress, something that you haven't even touched the surface of, no matter what you try in whatever movie you in, whatever Lucy you in. And when they say, because I also get this, white people, well, panic, where we're going, we beyond color. No, where we're going is beyond color. The source of what you are does not merge into that world to even have that option to say we're beyond color. We came down here, and coming down here, our color or that hue is a representation of where we're from. Don't get it twisted. It ain't like we're all going to one place where we're colorless. That's bullshit. That's that Deepak Chopra bullshit. Deepak Chopra, all them niggas is bullshit. All that you gotta love and love everybody, that's fucking ridiculous. Because if you're a true man with love in your heart, true righteous man, you need to hate oppression, hate genocide, hate this goddamn system at its very core, because it's evil, it's wicked, and it crushes thousands by the day. I hate that shit. So, and that's a nigga with real love in his heart. Just someone you should love everybody. That's imaginary shit. Talking about where we're going after this. No, I'm saying at the core, where we're going after this is no color. Where you're going after this, I don't know. You need to figure that out. But what you need to do is stop trying to email me or talk to me about where you going, because you're not convincing me of shit. Because you need me to say you're going someplace. You ain't going to motherfucking place. You leave it up to me. You can hang around this motherfucker as long as you like. But we got a time here, because we have bigger and better things to do as black people. Not sit around while they fucking showing you some degenerate woman walking around showing you the universe in her womb, showing her go back in the past, symbolically touching a monkey which they're telling you is your fucking origin. A fucking monkey ain't got nothing to do with us. It's your fucking origin that she's in giving that shit life. Because they still connected Lucy to black people. So they trying to tell you she's the real Lucy. So this oldest woman that they found named Lucy, they're trying to tell you she's the real Lucy, and her consciousness is what started humanity. And they're only using that because that's all we know. But they kept showing you cosmic references to show you it's actually beyond this, and it's her, this blue-eyed creepy lady. Creep. They're taking your legacy. Every black woman should be fucking highly offended. Highly offended. Symbolically, you shouldn't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Highly offended on the outward, but really don't give a fuck. So you see her turn into this melanin, and they showed you the importance of melanin. That's the ultimate goal at 100 and at 90%. So, and we'll end it off when he says, well, where are you? Then she says, I'm everywhere. Now, you need to understand how important that is in the statement they were making. First of all, the afterlife as said in this idea, the nirvana, the sweet by and by, or heaven, was looked at as truly the quantum world. So you need to understand the difference between the quantum reality and this atomic reality. And there's another name for this atomic world, like they call it, physical something or something like that. Don't matter. You understand the atomic reality versus the quantum reality. Quantum mechanics, the attitude or properties or the definition of how the quantum world works is different from how we see this illusionary atomic world. So in Judy K. King's book, Isis Thesis, she goes into detail in the Book of the Dead, the Pyramid Text, Book of Coffin, and another, all the ancient books, which are different books. She goes through and shows and proves that when the Kemetic people were talking about the afterlife, they were talking about the quantum world. And so this quantum world represents life. And the way that the quantum world works is everything is connected. Technically, in the atomic world, everything is connected, but we're under the illusion of separation. In the quantum world, that illusion, that veil is not as thick. So quantumly, when they did tests, what they did was there was monkeys on the island. These monkeys started using tools and taking their nuts to the beach, washing them off to get the salt. Different island, monkeys weren't connected. Those monkeys started doing the same thing immediately. So they deducted that when this particular level of consciousness happened with these particular monkeys, they were able to transmit that light or that consciousness to other monkeys. And these other monkeys got it. They hooked up an EKG machine to a cantaloupe, to two cantaloupes. They cut one cantaloupe, and they noticed that cantaloupe that got cut, the energy pattern changed more frantically by way of testing on the EKG machine, which is a brainwave machine. But what was interesting, if that wasn't interesting enough, that you cut a cantaloupe, it feels it too. And because people say, I don't eat meat, you cut the meat, there's stress in the meat. Yes, there's stress in that cantaloupe or that fruit that you're cutting too. Get over it. But more, if that's not interesting enough, what was more interesting was that the second cantaloupe that wasn't untouched had the same reaction at the same time as cantaloupe 1 that was cut. Cantaloupe 2 that wasn't cut had the same readings, meaning it picked up on what his brother was going on. So this, and experiments like this, plus more deeper intellectual guys talk about how the quantum world works, that there's no distance, there's no time, so you can get into all sorts of theories, and they have, based upon everything's connected, there's no time, so all this time and space break down, and blah 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 blah, and all the rest of this, they go on and on and on, which the end result would make you say, I'm everywhere, because I'm everything. If one cantaloupe gets cut and this one gets cut and I feel it, that means I'm in both cantaloupes, or in whatever tree, and the nuts and the berries and the fruits and the flies and the bees and the honey. I'm everywhere. I'm everything. In the Egyptian mythology, they tell you become all gods. On Earth, even African people were setting up their villages and their lifestyle based upon quantum realities. You're all brothers. They're all uncles. They're all mothers. You feel it, I feel it. It takes a village to raise a child. You eat what I eat. I share what you share. We marry the same. We fuck it. We do it. Because what they were doing was showing that we're moving with a higher mentality than this atomic separation of illusion. Not to say this didn't happen and there was wars and I can't stand you, niggas is niggas. That's the flaw of humanity. Primarily, if all things are functioning, they were setting up a culture like a quantum reality. Doggone people, all the same houses, all the same different things, different statuses or orders, but as humanity, they see themselves as the same, blah, blah, blah. All this was quantum thinking, which is mimicking the heaven that we came from. And understand this culture thing is later day. That's not the greatest part of Africa. That's later day. And I go into that in my classes as well. And what that means. So, again, summing this bullshit up. And like I said, I know I missed a lot. Because, again, I shit you not. I went to sleep at 20% and woke up at 90 or 70. So I don't know what happened in between all of that shit. But I seen enough to understand what their subliminal message was. And as soon as I thought it was going to be a dumb action movie. But when I seen it was a metaphysical movie, and then when I seen it was a hustle. I seen it was a hustle in the beginning. As soon as they said Lucy, which was in the beginning, and showed you a fucking monkey, before I even got offended, Khadijah looked at me and said, what the fuck? That's classically known as a black woman. So they had to, they never going to show you a black woman sitting by the water hole. Because it's against their hustle. So they show you this fucking monkey, and you just sat there and told about this was a deep metaphysical movie that everyone must see. And then they showed you that monkey by the same motherfucking watering hole, and this bitch go back in time to give it consciousness. Whew, that's some fucked up shit. And then ultimately she becomes, at 100%, at 90%, she becomes a melanin. At 100%, she becomes the quantum nigga that's everywhere. And that's your black ass. You the one who's everywhere. You the all be. We say it all the time. Black woman is the universe. The black man is God and crown of creation. We are beginning, the alpha and omega. So when she says, I'm everywhere, motherfucker, what do you think she's saying? She just said, I'm everywhere, you fucking clown. And Morgan sitting there with his fucking lip on the floor. I got the fucking pin drive. Oh, fucking dumbass. That's you. That's him. And he just gave all that credit to her. So please, if you still think this movie is the most profound shit in every day, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to real motherfucking, real studiers, real motherfuckers that see the plastic subliminal shit, not emotional niggas. But I can tell you, and like I said, this is without even me focusing. If I gave this shit some focus, y'all really will be fucking urinating on yourself. But I can see like the setup thing, it's the same old routine. You need to understand, all that Illuminati chemtrail shit you talking about, that's nothing. That's all hype. That's the shit that you make a motherfucker think you got something. That's just them silent weapons, you know what I'm saying? And that they put it out there and let you build on your imagination. Not to say it's all fake, but got to say y'all give them more. Y'all scared of their karate a little bit more than their skill level. You put them as a black belt when them niggas is a brown belt or a fucking yellow belt, and you making them a black belt 3rd degree with all because you have the ability to do it based upon your power of melanin. So that's what they hope takes off, your power. But what is more effective than anything, not only did I get this spiritually, this is obvious, is what we've seen today. Because as I can see, this message has skated right by you niggas. All you niggas promoting Lucy, don't take the status message down now. All you niggas saying this is the greatest shit ever told and sold lately, it went right past you. While you sitting around talking about how fucking bad and how Baphometic Beyonce's fucking videos are. She had a Baphomet ring on, and ooh, what they're doing, him and Jay-Z, ooh. While you worry about all that shit, this is how they really getting you. This is what you need to get into. Their movies are nothing but symbols. Symbols in fact, symbols are the key. That's why your hieroglyphs that were left behind were nothing but symbols. Movies are nothing but moving pictures. You see 24 pictures per second. So you're looking at symbols. So they're programming you with hieroglyphs the same way. And if the ancients knew we were going to fall into this, they could have just left messages that said, Look, eat spirulina, start a economy plan. All you niggas need to start record labels. That's how you're gonna get out of it. They didn't do that. They left it in picture form because they knew it was the most important, most effective way for you to revive the true part of your mind. So understanding that concept, that's what you have in movies, and that's what you just seen in this movie. So don't be fooled over it. All right. So remember, occultlectures.com. That's the new website. Go to my website, occultlectures.com. You can get classes, sign up. I got a payment plan. All my herb packs, all the products that you come to know and love are now online. You can buy it with just one click. Very easy. Spiritual baths to clean your aura, meditation CDs that go along with I have at least 13 different forms of herb packs that you can use for every occasion, but you always want the standard herb pack if you're new to this. It was mind-blowing. I also have a testimonial page on the website. You go into the More area or About Panic area. You'll find links to Bobby's Love Fund page. You have Bobby quotes. If you go into the More area, I got a shitload of information you can get into, and I'm still building more information. That's occultlectures.com. You also can check out First World Order Radio. Am I saying it right? First World Order Radio, with your host, Dr. Aleem. That's on Blog Talk Radio. So just look up on Blog Talk Radio, search for Dr. Aleem L. Bay, and you'll find all our radio shows. You'll find his radio shows. We also have guests. For all this information, we're going to start doing shows again soon. And of course, Occult Lectures. Look for me on YouTube. That's where you'll find this video and more like it. And like I said, hit that website, see what's popping over there. Get you a herb. If you don't know what an herb pack is by now, you're losing. But it's all natural herbs. Everything is a food, so you can eat this. And organic. There are no drugs. You smoke it, and if you're too scared to smoke, you take it as a tea. It will decalcify the pineal. The results, like I said, I have a testimonial page. You don't have to take it from me. And this testimony page is only for a couple of months. If I really save what I had over this, I've been selling this for years. If I save what I had over the years, we wouldn't get stopped with testimony about A, B, and C has happened. And everything has happened, including the motherfucker was in a wheelchair, smoked the herb pack, and walks to this day. If I could find that testimony, I would love to put that up. So many things has happened based upon these all natural herbs, because what it really does is it opens up that third eye again. So anything is possible, and it gets you in touch with your true spiritual intention, which I don't know what it is all the time, but you will find out. So it's very cheap to get your herb pack, occultlectures.com. And I'll be back at you soon. I'm thinking soon about doing a Batman breakdown, all three of them, because I love doing movie breakdowns as well as dropping science. So all three movies, I'm going to go through them. All right, so peace till next time. And when you watch these movies, look for subliminal programming. Don't look for no outward bullshit. That's the hype. That's the distraction, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a lady. You go to a club, and the nigga's like, I want to buy you a drink. Let's dance. I like to walk by the beach. You know that's what he's saying on the surface, but the subliminal message is he's saying, can I get some pussy? And you know that's the fucking truth. You need to look at it that way. That movie, oh, Lucy, she's so special, is another way of saying, can I get some pussy? Because if a nigga walk up to you and say that, he may not get no pussy. Some of you may give him some pussy. But ultimately, you want him to say, let's go to dinner. Let's go to movies. Listen, you like cake? Oh, I like cake. Listen to your dumbass stories about how you smarter than everybody at work. And that bitch said that. Oh, that bitch said that to you? Oh, my God, you are so much better than them. Why are you working there? You know you can figure it all out. Oh, I'm going to give him some pussy. Baby came out and said, yeah, hey, how you doing? My name is Panic. May I have some pussy? Wait a minute, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or a girl come up to a guy, no, you sweet, you cute, you handsome. They're really saying, could you help me pay my gas bill? If you meet a bitch at the club, she's dancing, hey, how you doing? Could you help me with my rent? You might say, you might just hustle your ass back somewhere. Like, okay, bitch, I'm going to talk to you. But motherfucker, if she come in, oh, you cute, ooh, look at your chest, and ooh, your eyes are I can see your soul. Like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I might have to pay this bitch car note. You know what I'm saying? She's making me feel good. But see, you know what I'm saying? If they come out and say you ain't gonna do it. So you need to look at these movies as they trying to bring you in with all this sweet shit. Here's some honey wine. But then they're really telling you their agenda when you look for the subliminal message. If you don't do that, you're wasting your time. You're dealing with emotional shit. Alright, and I think we talked about everything that I even care to talk about. So peace, occultlectures.com. Peace.